Hello, welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I am your host, Dennis Patholkas, and this is the series finale of Swamp Thing, Season 1, Episode 10, Loose Ends. So why DC Universe canceled this series is beyond me. I mean, yeah, you saw at the very end here, the last episode was a little bit rushed, of course, because they lost 3 episodes. They were supposed to have 13 episodes. And yeah, it's and yeah, sorry I'm a little bit late too. That was work, uh, a little bit of traffic and all kinds of stuff in between. So yeah, I had to watch too. And yes, I am drinking tonight. This is in honor of the southern theme, I guess you could say. It's a mint julep. There you go. Did I cry? No, I did not, Joe. I did not cry. I didn't even have anything in my eye either. So let's get down to some business first. Sorry, I was just like, oh, that was a little bit strong there on that sip. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button down below. You can hit the dislike button. I just ask you to go down in the comment section. Tell me what it is you don't like. Give me some constructive criticism. Also, if you want to follow me and see when I'm going to be on live again next, you can hit the bell down below as well. Just so you know, it's a 50-50 chance of getting notified by YouTube. You can go into the bell settings again, as many or as little notifications as you want. You can also go to my website, suspendedfanimation.com, see my schedule up there. It's also mirrored on my Facebook page as well for Suspended Fanimation. And I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I have a Patreon, but I don't have any tiers set up as of yet. You have to see me drunk, Sasha. You just didn't know it. That's all. So, also, this is the video that you want to comment in to win the Swamp Thing poster from Comic-Con that I picked up there in all its glory. Yes. One lucky winner will get that. And basically, you're going to have a week. If you take a look inside the About section on this video, I have all the contest rules up there. It's only open to U.S. residents. Sorry, but the international rates would kill me to send this thing out. You know what? I don't make any money off of this as of yet, but still. So yeah, it's open to U.S. residents only. What I'm going to do is you can leave as many comments as you want in this video. I'm only going to give you one entry per person. So you can leave 20 comments, but you're only getting one entry. I am going to pick 2 names. The first name, of course, is the winner. The second name is a standby. You have 48 hours from when I announce it to email me. That email, again, is suspendedfanimation@gmail.com with your address, and I will send that out to you. If within 48 hours I do not hear anything from that person, I will go to the next person and see if they will take that. So yeah, pretty easy. And I'm going to pick that next week on August 9th at probably around 6 p.m. I'm going to do a special stream for it and pick it out then. It's only going to be like a 5-minute long stream. So there we go. He's drinking because he's upset. No, I'm drinking because of work, Joe. I'm drinking because of you. That's Daddy's little secret, is Daddy drinks because of you. That's right. And welcome everybody in the chat. See how I actually I say hi to you guys, tell you that you're the reason why I drink. Yeah. Exactly. I learned it by watching you, okay? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the shit out of this episode. If you have not seen the episode, what the hell are you doing here? No, I mean, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video, and you can comment down below in the comment section and get an entry to win the prize. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. There we go. Slurmy Scott says there, I had to read up on the chat while Dennis rambles. Hi, my invisible friends. Hey, Slurmy Scott. Loose Ends, which was also Slurmy Scott's 80s bar name. No, I'm kidding. That was just bad. Yeah. But it was kind of funny. There we go. So let's get started, shall we? With Swamp Thing, Season 1, Episode 10, Loose Ends, the series finale. And I'm not drunk as of yet. I've only had one of these things. This is my second one right now. So, yeah. By the end of this, I might be drunk. So, no, I won't be. With some minty goodness as well. So, Swampy and Abby are holding vigil over Alec's dead body. And Swampy is upset because all his memories are stolen from a dead man. And Abby tells them that when she looks into his eyes, she sees Alec, you know. And Swampy kind of growls. He stands up, which, at first I thought it was Taco Bell kind of backing up on him. But no, he says that men are coming and they're coming back. But this time it's a little different because they're angry because he's hurt them. And she says, well, I want to help, I want to make this better. And he goes, no, I got this. You leave. And we end up going back over to Jason. And Jason is taping his wife, Caroline, to the chair. She's in a catatonic state at this point because she's taken all her pills all at once because she kept forgetting that she was taking them. And he's talking to her about how he's going to cure her and, what happened to her and all this stuff. Even though she's in a catatonic state, she's kind of not moving. You can see her eyes move a little bit, but not much. Abby, in the meantime, is with Liz at this point. They've stopped off at the bar because that's what you're going to do at this point. And Liz, she tells them what they found in the swamp. They found Alec's body, and she tries to explain what happened with Alec transferring his consciousness to a plant, but she can't find the words really. And she's upset that she lost him and that everyone she loves, she ends up losing. And Liz is like, no. That's not what happened. He's here. Don't worry about this. And Liz ends up telling him, you know what? Avery had a little help setting up the lab. We got to find out who that is. If we know who that is, then we can actually stop him. And also, did you hear that Maria has been committed to the mental institution? And, Abby's like, what? Yeah. And so she leaves and takes off and is going to the hospital to go and see what's going on with Maria. While Liz ends up pulling out a Blue Devil comic, which she has in a little box, which is kind of weird. And her dad asks what's going on, and she goes, oh, nothing, gonna go see a friend. And she takes off and leaves. So, no, my legs are not taped down. And I'm sorry if I'm chewing on some mint, but that's what I'm getting with the mint julep, Jason, in the meantime, is trying to tell his wife what happened to her. He's trying to explain. So it's a doctor trying to explain to a doctor what happened to her. And yes, I know she has Alzheimer's and stuff like that, but he's mansplaining is what's going on. Yeah. And he tells her that he's going to fix her, that everything's going to be all right. And I had a flashback to Legion, to the last couple episodes to Legion of David and Melanie and Oliver and everybody's saying that they're going to fix everything. I can fix this. I can fix it. And yeah, it's I really don't think it's going to happen. And Jason has Swampy's organs. He's taken his liver, the lungs, and the heart, and he says their cells with the regenerative properties might cure her of her Alzheimer's, and that's what he's hoping anyway. That's why he's got those organs. In the meantime, Nathan Ellery is out with his hunters, Shaw being one of them, who's played by Jake Busey. Yeah, I am. I'm drinking. Don't worry about it. And, he's basically saying, okay, you guys are off the leash now. We've lost enough. We've lost enough men at this point. You guys are off the leash. If you find whatever this thing is out there, kill it. And in the meantime, Avery comes over and goes, hey, Ellery, you must be Ellery. We haven't met yet. And he goes, you don't want to kill this thing because it has some really good stuff that we may be able to use. And Ellery grabs Avery and kind of grabs him and says, what the hell are you talking about? I've lost all these men. And Avery says, like, I put too much in this project. I'm not losing this. He goes, you never had control of this project to begin with. I'm the one who bankrolled everything. You're out. I'm the one who's taking care of this. And he basically kicks Avery to the curb. And Avery says he's put everything he's had into this project. And Ellery's like, that, I don't care. He goes, I'm the one who actually bankrolled you. So get the hell out. It's our project now. Lucilla, in the meantime, comes to the hospital to find out what's going on with Matt. He's just come out of surgery, and the doctor says that it was a single car accident. There's a lot of bottles that were found in the car, but there was no medical evidence to suggest that he had been drinking. So he was kind of lucky. And Lucia is not happy, of course, at the moment. Liz visits Daniel, and of course, there's music playing, like really loud music, and she's calling out his name, and he will not answer her. So she goes up in the loft and finds him packing, and she turns off the music and goes, "What the hell's going on?" And he goes, "I keep hearing, this sound like a buzzing. He's talking to my head, and it's the Blue Devil." He says, "It's all he hears is the Blue Devil that's there. That he thought it was a comic, but he's real." And he says he's leaving Murray, and he's going to go find his destiny. And he leaves her the keys to the shop and says, "Hey, take care of the shop for me, okay?" So he gets in his car. He drives to the edge of town. We've seen this before. He got to the edge of town, stopped, and put his hand out, and it started to burn. And this time he doesn't stop. He just floors it, goes through, and he doesn't burn. And of course, he cheers because he's able to leave now at this point. Yeah. We'll get to that in a little bit, Viking Bitch. Yeah. So Maria, in the meantime, is going a little bit nuts in her padded cell. She's saying, "What have you given me?" And she's hearing voices, and she's talking to the camera, talking to Avery, really, about what he did to her and how she's going to get back to him and back at him and all this stuff. And suddenly these bloody hands start coming out of the wall and grabbing her and grab her towards the wall, and she starts screaming. And we hear Madame Xanadu say, "Open your eyes," and she does. And she's sitting on the bed, huddled up. And Madame Xanadu, of course, warned her and says, "The demons that you released when you kept invoking your daughter are coming now to collect," is what's going on. She goes, "But I can give you some peace. But if I do this, just want to warn you, it's a peace you may never return from." Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So the hunters, in the meantime, in Ellery go looking for Swamp Thing, and they're out there and they find some fresh footprints. And Shaw has one of his guys, Romero, be the bait. He always uses the fat guy. You always use the fat guy as bait. So Romero is this fat guy who does not look like a soldier or a hunter. Well, he looks like a hunter, like one of those, drunk hunters kind of thing. So he's out there by himself, and of course he hears some sounds, and he hears some twigs snapping and things like this, and he radios into Shaw telling him, I think I hear something, but I don't see anything. I don't have any eyes on it. And he starts shooting at random because, that's what you want to do when you're in the woods full of other guys, is you just want to shoot at fucking random so that maybe you might hit somebody in a distance. And who pops up behind him but Swampy? Swampy goes, "Surprise, I'm here." And Romero turns around, screams, and that's all we see of Romero. Abby, in the meantime, comes into Maria's room because, it's unlocked. And it just seems like anybody can show up into the mental institution there and just walk into a mental institution room. What the hell? Sure, why not? And finds Madame Xanadu there. And Maria is hallucinating that she's seeing her daughter. And Xanadu tells Abby, she goes, "No one can help her now." And they leave. Basically, you know what? She's screwed. Let's go grab a drink, kind of thing. And we see Maria, we see what she's hallucinating. She's seeing her daughter, and she asks her daughter, "Please never leave me." And her daughter says, "I won't. I'm here with you forever." And she hugs a non-existent daughter. Yeah. Jason, in the meantime, is cooking up Swampy's heart, is what's going on. And he's going to try and feed it to Caroline. She, at this point, is actually able to move her eyes a little bit more and get a little more expressive. And she looks pretty horrified about what's going on. And she doesn't want to eat it. And so he eats it to show her that, it's perfectly fine. And he says, I would test this if I had a little more time. But, what's happened to you, I think, we need to go a little more powerful, a little more stringent dose. And he goes, "Everything's fine." And then he says, "Wait a minute, I feel something." And then he starts convulsing and drops to the ground. Yeah. My God, I can't believe, that That's the first thing this idiot does. I mean, this guy supposedly is supposed to be super smart. And what does he do? He just eats a heart from something that he doesn't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Avery, in the meantime, is really good at getting drunk over at Delroy's. And he's saying that, you know what? Yeah, I've fallen, but I'm going to get back on my feet with the help of everyone in the town and all that kind of stuff. And Delroy's like, maybe you should call yourself a cab. And Avery's like, I'll leave when I'm damn good and ready. I own this bar. And someone walks in the door and he jumps a little bit. And Delroy's like, you're a little bit jumpy, aren't you? And, Avery asks, well, hey, where's Lucia at? And Delroy tells him, he's she's down at the hospital with Matt because Matt had an accident. And Avery's like, huh. And he's almost going to tell Delroy that he's Matt's father when he thinks better of it. And goes, okay, I'm going to leave. And takes off. So, yeah. That's never going to end well. You know this. Jason, in the meantime, excuse me. Yeah, Jason gets up. Excuse me. Yeah, he stands up and he can feel Swampy's power kind of coursing through him at this point. And he puts his hand on the table and we see a vine actually shoot across the table. And he says, I can feel it. I can feel the power. At this point, Abby shows up and sees Caroline tied to the chair. And she's like, what the hell are you doing? Did she take all these pills? And he goes, don't worry about it. Me and my wife are having a conversation. And she goes, she needs a medical attention. I'm calling somebody right now. So she starts calling 911. He knocks the phone out of her hand and pushes her to the chair and restrains her and basically says, you're not going to interrupt this thing. I've got something to do. In the meantime, the hunters find Romero up in the trees. It's starting to rain at this point. It's dark. And he's tied up in the trees with vines and he's dead. Yeah, Romero's gone at this point. They can't find the path out because the trees, of course, have moved. And they start freaking out. They realize that Swampy is hunting them now at this point. That's when vines start attacking them. They pull out their machetes and just start, chomping at this thing. The vines are just going at them and they're just, chopping at them. But they're not stopping at this point. So Avery ends up visiting Matt and Lucia at the hospital, and she pulls her gun out right away because, of course, she tried to kill him. So he might be there for revenge. She really doesn't know. And they step outside. Step outside the room because, of course, they want to be civil when she's got her gun on him. And Avery tells Lucia about Maria and how he'll be divorced soon and they can be together like they plan to be, in the first place. And they can be one big happy family. One big happy murderous family. And she tells me, you know what? You turned my son into a murderer. I don't want you going anywhere near him and stay the hell away from me as well. And tells him to leave. Abby, in the meantime, asks Jason what he's trying to do. And he tells her that the plants he harvested may have some regenerative properties. And they exist nowhere else in the world. He's going to use them to heal his wife. And Abby goes, wait a minute. Those harvested plants, you mean the ones you harvested from Alec? And he goes, that thing is not Alec. And she goes, it's got Alec's memories in there, his, consciousness. He felt all of that. And he's trying to tell her it's just a plant, So he goes to feed it to Caroline. And before she can, Abby says, no, don't do that. And she knocks it out of his hand and he grabs her and pushes her up against the wall and is holding her off the ground by her throat when he gets hit by a taser and gets shocked and knocked down by the cops. The cops have followed the 911 call back because, of course, she didn't answer when 911 answered. And they sent out units to go and find out what the hell was going on. And Jason is down on the ground. He tries to get back up again. He gets tased again. And he keeps whispering, don't take her, is what he keeps whispering as he's getting tased. The hunters, in the meantime, are still hacking at the plants that are attacking them, and they challenge Swampy to show himself, which is always a bad idea. Swampy just starts sending vines, and he skewers one guy through the head, and the other guys just are freaking the hell out, and they start shooting, and outruns Swampy, and he kills another guy by ramming his hand through his chest, and the rest of them just start running. I mean, yeah, it's a bloodbath at this point. Caroline gets taken home to gets taken out to the hospital by the cops, and Jason to the police station. Liz comes over to Abby there, and basically she says that Jason lost his mind, and Liv says, "Yeah, there's a lot of that going around right now. Is there any plant sex in this show? Not really, Sasha. So there could have been in season 2, but that's the reason. That's probably the reason why they canceled it. They didn't want any plant sex in it. There's no nudity either. So Matt wakes up to find Lucia at his side, and she asks him, because he woke up with a start, and she goes, "Bad dream?" He goes, "No, actually, it was a good dream. I dreamt of when I was a kid at the other house." And he says, "A nurse told me that I had a visitor, and I kind of think, it was Avery, right? It was Dad." And she says, "I'm sorry for what happened." He goes, No, it's all on me. It's my fault." She goes, "No, it's my fault for letting this happen." She goes, "But whatever happens, we're going to get through it together. And, I've got your back." And he tells her he's got her back, and they're going to go through this together. And he tells her, "Why don't you go home and get some rest?" And she goes, "Okay, I'll bring you some fresh clothes." And she has a guard stationed outside the door who she says, "Don't let anybody in except for the doctors. No visitors." So Lucia's outside in the parking lot, and she's getting into her car. She's a little bit jumpy. She hears something like, a cough, and she goes to go grab for a gun for a second. She turns. It's actually just a intern, opening up their car right next to her to get, going. She gets into her car and notices that the windows are all fogged on the inside. Now, first of all, when you get into a car, I don't know about you, but I always look in the back seat because maybe it's too many horror movies I've watched, at one point in time, but also I can see into the back seat of my car when I would get in. Also, she was driving a police car. Don't police cars have mesh screens between the front and the back? That's what I thought, but not this one. Who happens to be in the back seat? But Avery. And Avery says, "You know what? I loved you. I always loved you." And just before she can pull out her gun, he rams a gigantic knife through the back seat and through her stomach and takes the gun out of her hand. Yeah. So he throws her in the trunk. She's still alive, and brings her out to the swamp and dumps her cop car with her in the trunk into the waters and just lets it sink. And as it's sinking in there, she's trying to get out her phone to call somebody, but then she just starts screaming for help and banging on the car door, on the trunk door, as he's watching this thing sink into the waters. And we see the waters rising up into the trunk too. And she's just screaming, and screaming. And actually, it was a pretty horrifying scene, I have to admit. That I was kind of surprised. I was like, okay, that's a pretty graphic scene. I was surprised without being gory or anything like that. And yeah, it is a horrible way to go. And they kind of sold it for all it's worth. And he's just outside watching this thing sink. But conveniently, he's got his car parked nearby, so he doesn't have to Uber it back to wherever he's coming from. And as Avery gets into his car, he starts coughing really uncontrollably until he coughs up a little bit of plant material. And he's like, "What the fuck is this?" He literally says, "What the fuck?" Again, another what the fuck moment we got for, and I'm just going back to Doom Patrol on this one, the cliff and the what the fuck? The fuck? Yeah, exactly. That's what it all is. Swamp Thing, of course, catches up to Ellery as Ellery is running through the swamp and grabs him. And Ellery's telling Swampy that, he can help him, that, I've got all this money and all this, basically all these mines at my disposal and all this kind of stuff. We can help you. And Swampy tells him, "I don't need your help." He goes, "What I want you to do is," he goes, "I'm going to let you go. And you're going to tell others what I can do. And you're going to warn them not to come back." And he lets him go. And just after he does that, we see Alec show up. And Alec's like, "Huh. So that's how you're going to play it, huh?" And Swampy says, "Leave me alone." And he goes, "What? What are we going to do from now? Oh, what do we do now?" And, he's saying that, Alec tells him Abby was our connection to being human when we thought we were still human, when we were trying to become human. But now that doesn't matter anymore. And he goes, what matters is what you want to be. What do you want to become? And that's what I'm here for. So, yeah, it's the whole existential, who am I, is what this is, which actually could have been a really good second season. Having Swampy figuring out who the hell he is, what is his place in this, because we still don't know any of this. So many storylines left undiscovered. Exactly, Viking bitch. So much stuff. So Abby arrives at the swamp lab and looks around when Swampy, being the creeper that he is, pops up and says, "Why'd you come back?" And she's like, "What the fuck?" And he's watching her from the window, of course. And she wanted to see if he was all right. And she says she cares about him, and not just who he was before, but who he is now. And she says that he has shown her things she's never that she never knew existed before, like the green, and she wants to see more of the green and experience it more, because she can't do this on her own. She has to do it with him. And he says he was going to leave and lose himself in the swamp, and she goes, "Well, why didn't you?" He goes, "Because I wanted to see you again." And she goes, "Well, I'm not going anywhere." And he goes, "Yeah, but the darkness is out there. The darkness is still rising. It's still trying to rise up." She goes, "Well, I'm here with you. I'm going to help you fight it, and we'll face it together." And that's where we leave off. And that's how the series ends. I mean, it's not a bad ending to the series, but damn, man. I mean, we could have actually had a lot of good stuff. Sorry, I almost unplugged my microphone there for a second. That was really good. What's in my mint julep? So my mint julep is comprised of sugar, mint, water, and bourbon. That's what a good mint julep has right there. As you can see, some little mint floating around in there. There you go. So come on over. That's all I can say. All right, let's see. I know you were all talking shit about me. I saw some of it in the chat as it was flying by, but let's go and take a look anyway. I'm going to see how far up I can go here. All right. So why DCY exactly? What the fuck were they thinking? Let's see what else. Slurmy Scott says, yeah, he was reading up on the chat. And yes, Sasha the Cleaner. I knew they would leave us on a cliffhanger. Arg. That's what Viking Bitch says. Yeah. I think Dennis's legs are taped down like Fred Savage. What the? Viking Bitch says, what the fuck is with the men in these shows? One locks his wife up in an asylum. One ties his wife to the chair. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I really don't. Electrical tape hurts less. You know from experience, Sasha? And let's see. Heart saute. Actually, this is sunburn, Joe. I'm not red because of drinking. It's actually a little sunburn, because that's what happens when you forget to put on your fucking sun protection. So you remember, kids. I made a whole video about this too, about sun protection and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't follow my own goddamn advice. Sorry, having a little sip there. Every single day, every Sunday. What? Oh my god. So the Blue Devil leaves town, and that's it. Such bullshit. We were robbed of a story. That was the whole thing. Is the Blue Devil was supposed to come back for season 2. There was going to be some stuff that was going to be a whole episode about the Blue Devil. They had 3 seasons planned of this. That's the whole thing. It's one of those rare occasions where they actually had a plan in place, because it's Mark Verheiden. Mark Verheiden always plans. I think with Mark Verheiden, hey, Mark, if you're out there and you're listening, don't plan anything next time. Just plan one season at a time. I know you're a great showrunner, dude. You're a great writer. Daredevil, Ash versus Evil Dead, There's a whole bunch of lists of shows. This show as well, Swamp Thing. Dude, you just need to do one season and just plan it, because I think when you start planning things too far in advance, they end up canceling your show ahead of time because they know how good it's going to be and they don't want to see it, which really sucks. If I put a thumbnail up, does it show my whole Google account? No, it does not, Sasha. So I realize I shouldn't be using my full name, but if I'm too lazy, just create another account. It's pretty easy. If you have one Gmail, you can create another Gmail account. It's pretty easy. That's what I've done. I have multiple Gmail accounts, some for spam. It doesn't have to be a face or a nude, though, Sasha. You can do cool lab symbols or something. Nice. Let's see where else. This show sounds weird when you haven't watched it. It's weird when you have watched it too, Sasha. So yes, it's a little bit of both. Is it wrong that I really like seeing Woodrow get tased repeatedly, is what Penn Farm Girl says? No, not really. I think we all like that. He was a dick. He really was a dick, and he got his comeuppance. And he's now that he's eaten some of the heart, I wonder if he's going to start changing. The swamp fight was good. Special effects. Damn you, AT&T, for canceling this. Yeah, I know. Mood Fanobi says, when it's really romantic, we have great writing moments like, let me touch your breast with my salad hands, or I'm sorry for the tree sap. Oh, God, Mood Fanobi. You got to sit in the corner for that one. Let's see what else. Yeah, I got to skip past the Mood Fanobi quotes and see what else is here. And we're back to where I was. You need SPF 5000, Dennis. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I know. Dennis, you need to see that ending. You will be pissed. What ending was that? There was an amazing costume on Woodrow. I was so pissed that we can't see more. Really? Okay. Oh, was there an actual ending? Oh, there was more after the credits. Okay. Thanks, Vikingvich. I didn't see it after the credits. I was running a little bit late, and I was pushing it as I was, saying going till 7, and I was just writing up a storm. I might have, twisted something as I was doing it. Wow. So, okay, so he does turn into the Floronic Man. All right. Damn it. God. See, that was the whole thing, is they never had anything after the credits before. That's why I'm like, they're not going to have anything on the credits after the credits this time. And that's why I left it. Oh, that's what it was. Deadpool 2, the Christmas edit. I never saw it, Movie Fanobi. I didn't know that Fred Savage's legs were taped to the bed. So, yeah. I can't do it right now, Penn Farm Girl. I have to turn on the TV and all that stuff. And yeah, it's just a big pain in the ass. And trying to stream it at the same time as I'm doing this stream would just kill it completely. Yeah. No, I'm not going to watch it right now. So what is going to take over this time slot, Joe? It will be Titan Season 2 on September 6th. Right now, it's going to be empty. That way I can have 2 days off. I can have Tuesday off and I can have Friday off. I always want to have at least 2 days off so I can catch up on things like sleep and, trying to edit the boys panel from Comic-Con that I still can't get to load properly. So, yeah. Never leave a Marvel movie until the credits are done. Well, it wasn't a Marvel movie, Slurmy. This is a DC show. And yes, dick jokes will return for September 6th. So I made one last night, as a matter of fact, about Dick getting into Nightwing. Yeah, see how that is? Yeah, sleep is nice sometimes. It really is, Viking Mitch. Then I can actually plan things out, that kind of stuff, make this channel a little bit better than the kind of herky-jerky thing I got going on right now. Yeah. So there we go. What? 2 after my birthday is what Joe Greer says. 2. Oh, your birthday's going on there? There we go. So, Joe Greer the third and Joe. Sorry, Joe Greer was on last night on iZombie, but Joe wasn't there. So I was able to just say Joe. But Joe and Joe Greer are here, so I actually have to say that, you know. September 4th? I thought it was September 6th. I've got it written down in my book, which is someplace. Oh, I know where my book is. It's over there in a different part of the room that I have to get to at some point in time. Yeah. My place is like a cyclone after Comic-Con. It really is. It's I still need to go through and organize some stuff. Dick is going into Nightwing. That's right. That's right. So if you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also you can hit the little bell as well down below there. The bell will tell you when I'm going to be on live again next. You have a 50-50 chance of that actually happening. You can go into the bell settings and get as little or as many notifications as you want. If you want to see when I'm going to be on live again next, you can go to suspendedfanimation.com where my schedule is up. My schedule is up on Facebook as well on my Suspended Fanimation page there. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I also have a Patreon, but the Patreon doesn't have any tiers. But I will be setting it up at some point in time whenever I find an extra spare 1,000 hours to do some work. Hit the like. And if you comment on this video, next week I will be drawing a name for this poster. The Swamp Thing poster. That's right. Swampy. There you go. Swampy can be in your bedroom staring at you. Just like he does to Abby when she's in the swamp lab. He just kind of sneaks up and watches her for a little bit and then goes, "What are you doing here? What are you looking at? Hey, baby." Yeah. Tears, not tears. Kind of like peers, but tears. Yeah. Yeah, he touches her with his salad hands. That salad hand thing is really creepy. Some teacher just got in trouble for showing that to some kids. When is the sweater guy? When is the sweater giveaway video? There is no sweater giveaway video, Mufinobi. That when the sweater giveaway video will be happening, Mufinobi, is when you start doing Cloak and Dagger reviews. There we go. No, like peers. Swampy ratatouille was probably tasty. Yeah. Oh man, the missed opportunities of this, quite honestly. So I don't know if you noticed, but they also released the Keanu Reeves Swamp Thing. Keanu Reeves, excuse me, Constantine on DC Universe. They just released that today as well, which I thought was kind of funny, considering that it is Constantine was supposed to show up at some point in Swamp Thing. I believe they said it was season 2 he was going to show up. So yeah. Hey Dennis, did you hear about Cloak and Dagger Run? Yes, I did. You didn't see my posting about this, did you, Joe Greer? If you go on my Facebook page, that's where I post up all the news of the week, which I'm going to be talking about tomorrow on Saturday Morning Blast Off. I'm not going to talk about it here because I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow. Also tomorrow is going to be The Boys episode 2. I'm going to be doing that as well. And Sunday is going to be Preacher, the season premiere of Preacher for their final season. Monday, of course, is going to be Legion. Wednesday is going to be Craptown. And Thursday, The Boys episode 3, because The Boys ends up moving over to Thursdays now because iZombie is gone. That's right. Yes, Viking Mitch, I'm doing the same thing. I'm watching The Boys twice as well. It's good stuff. Yeah. It's violent, but it's good violence. It's stuff that gives you, Makes you a better person, maybe? I don't know. I can't tell you. Joe Greer says, I want to finish it so bad. Finish it, man. Go for it. I mean, it's not going to spoil anything for you, just as long as you guys don't give out spoilers for the next episode while I'm doing that episode. Because it's not fair to the other people that are actually kind of watching it, that are taking it slow. Some people like watching episode by episode and don't binge it. But yeah. It makes you want to do better for sure. Yeah, it does. It really does. It's rum and rum. I wish it was rum and rum. No. It's a mint julep is what I'm drinking. That's what I'm drinking, Mr. Roboto. It's called a mint julep. Who has that willpower? Some people do. Yeah. No, it's not fancy, Mr. Roboto. It's actually a really lazy drink. It's sugar, mint, water, and bourbon. That's pretty much all it is. The mint was the hard part, but I was already at the store and I was like, I think I have sugar at home. So there you go. The Boys has so much you want to talk. Yeah, The Boys does have a lot of you want to talk about. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, Mr. Roboto, this is a Southern drink, man. This thing is very, very lazy and easy to make. Extremely lazy and easy to make. So, and I have a lot of sugar. I just didn't have, and I have a lot of bourbon. I just didn't have any mint. That was the whole thing. I also have water too, because I live in an area. I mean, yes, you wouldn't think in the area that I live in they actually have running water, but they do. It's something that was new, that was just added in. So what'd you miss? Everything. I'm pretty much done. Dennis said he is easy and lazy. Yeah. Viking bitch, you haven't known this by now? I mean, oh, Sasha, I am that easy. So easy like Sunday morning. Sad face. Sugar water. Yes, it is sugar water, movie for Nobi. It really is. No, it's mostly bourbon. It really is a vehicle just to get more bourbon in your body. That's really all it is. Slurmy Scott says, here in South Carolina, they have special glasses to drink juleps out of. Sterling silver, of course. Well, yeah. I mean, I know it's Kentucky is the one. That's where I just kind of want to go. I want to go to Kentucky for to go and visit the Jack Daniel's brewery or distillery. Excuse me, distillery. That's pretty much all I want to do. Is it Kentucky or is it Tennessee? I can't remember where it is. I know it's on the bottle. I always forget where it's at. And I want to have a mint julep there as well. Now I'm imagining Southern accent saying mint julep. One of my favorites of a mint julep reference is Dr. McCoy in Star Trek, the original series, when the spores took over and he's down on the planet and he's drinking a mint julep. And he's trying to get Kirk to come down and have a mint julep with him. No, only one of their barns burned down, Slurmy. Not everything burned. It was just one. So it wasn't a great loss of booze. No, bourbon can be from anywhere, Sasha. Actually, the bourbon I'm drinking is not too far away from where I live right now. It's actually a local brew. That's why I got it. Believe it or not, it was at Costco. Yeah. I've got three different bourbons right now that are sitting on my counter. 2 are local and 1 is Jack Daniel's. And they're all from Costco. Go figure. But that's not what you're here for. You are here for Swamp Thing. No, Mr. Roboto. I don't swing that way. Sorry, dude. You're here for Swamp Thing is what you're here for. And, we're not getting any more Swamp Thing. So, sorry, Swampy. He's going to be gone as of tomorrow. Sorry, Swampy. If you don't notice, I actually do change out the backgrounds here and there. I switch out little things every now and then. And like if you haven't noticed the Wolverine and the Sentinel over here, and there's also a Thor someplace over here as well. And there's also a smaller version of Hellboy that's over here. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed the Jor-El. There you go, because he's a little too far back. That's why no one could actually notice Jor-El. He's sitting there. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that's all over the place, and it gets changed out every now and then. That was very intimate, Dennis, the way you were stroking Swampy. Well, he actually is really far back from me, so, you know, he's in my hand there. Replace Swampy with Tiny Lobo. I don't have any Lobo statues or dolls or action figures. Couldn't tell what it was. I like the mini Evil Dead book. So, Pen Farm Girl, that mini Evil Dead book is something I actually made. That was for Bruce Hamble that I made for one of my art projects for school. There we go. Thank you. It's actually from real leather, fine Corinthian leather. Yeah. I had to use a little bit of leather on it. And where is it? I'll give you a close-up version of it. It's actually got a face on one side and another face on the other side. There you go. Yep. And it's got some little pages in between too. So there we go. He's back up there. Yeah, I've got Bruce Hamble. He's just too big to fit on the shelf up there. And he's heavy too. That's the other thing. So it's basically Bruce Campbell done up as a pig, because we had to do animal versions of actors and do them in poses and all this kind of stuff. And yeah. There we go. So it's from the living, just not human. I didn't say that. You need a tiny ash. I do have a tiny ash, Joe. See what I did there? Yeah. Anyway, with that said, now it's getting a little awkward now at this point. Join me tomorrow for Saturday morning blast off at 10:30 in the morning, and tomorrow afternoon at 4:00 for The Boys. That's what's going on tomorrow. Yes, that's right. SBO. Yeah, I didn't read her quote, what she said there, Viking bitch. I figured everyone else can. I'm not a prude, Sasha. I am nowhere near a prude. So I just don't know how far to push it with some people, so I don't push it. That's the whole thing. Sometimes I do. It depends on my mood, but most of the time I don't. Dennis is the alternate universe. There's a season 2 Swamp. Yeah, I know in an alternate universe there's a season 2, a season 3, and we also are getting a Dark Justice League movie as well. But yeah, we're not in that universe, unfortunately. We're in the really shitty universe. Yeah, where we don't get that kind of stuff. Yeah, the prude dude, the guy whose lack of enthusiasm bores the socks off of people. Your lack of enthusiasm bores the socks off me, which is pretty damn funny still. Yes, that will make it onto a shirt at some point in time whenever I have a spare moment. Who said that? It was one of my somebody in one of the comments of Krypton. That's what it was. I think it was so it was season 2. I want to say it was like episode 2 or 3. And I wasn't really digging it. I think it was episode 3. That's right. I really wasn't digging it. And his first sentence is, "Your lack of enthusiasm bores the socks off me." And I started laughing because it was just really good. It's kind of in reference to Star Wars. but at the same time kind of gives a little spin on it too to make it its own little nice thing. Don't listen to the haters. It wasn't, I thought it was just damn funny. That's all it was. Yeah, the socks are off. I don't have pants on right now. Not that you guys know. Come to Suspended Fanimation and let Dennis cover you in sarcasm. Exactly. Now, Captain Morgan is that's for people that are inexperienced drinkers. I'm sorry, Mr. Roboto. It really is. Captain Morgan's rum is for, sorority girls. That's all I'm gonna say. Ooh, I want a Long Island iced tea. You could have said I failed you for the last time. No, I don't block people. Unless they're being really trollish and stuff like that. That's about the only time I'll block them. There have been some trolls. There was one that tried to get me to say something by what their name was on the air fairly recently. And I was reading it, and as I got to the second word, and I was like, yeah, I'm not saying the last word right there. Thanks for playing. You're gone. Bye-bye. Yeah. I talk about hockey sometimes, just not all the time, Mr. Roboto. Excuse me. You still drink Captain Morgan? I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to disparage it. It's just, yeah. Yep, that's it. That's exactly it, Slurmy Scott. That is the one. And I got to the second word, and then I was like, nope, I know what you're trying to get me to say, and fuck you. That's what it was. It was a good try. It was a good try. It was a very good try. Of course, I wasn't in presence of mind to go ask your mom. Ask your mom why she named you that. No, it was probably one of my. I think it's a rotating troll. It's one that comes in every now and then. It's the only one that downvotes me. So I get one of my videos. I get at least one downvote every other time. Yeah, Viking bitch. I mean, sometimes these come to me afterwards. Sometimes it comes to me right like that. Presence of mind. But yeah, it's hard to actually, get those things going up on the fly there and hand out the zingers. Possibly the same troll that stole Mr. Roboto's name a few months ago. Possibly, Pen. It's someone who knows, who is familiar enough with me, who has seen me before, probably someplace else. It's not me. I never doubt. I know it's not you, Sasha. It's somebody else, and it's when they get bored, they come in, they do it. So, yeah. See you, Mr. Roboto. Have fun at work. If I take it, that's where you're going. I know it's about it's late for you or early. I can't remember which one it is. I would try to get you to say rude things. So I say rude things all the time. But anyway, I'm devolving now at this, and we're going to end up going longer than what the episode is, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to punish everybody who's not in on the family here. With that said, thank you everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. This was fun. Unfortunately, we're not getting any more Swamp Thing. I wish we were getting some more Swamp Thing. And yes, I'll save it for SBO. That's exactly it, Viking bitch. I want to save it up for tomorrow. Yeah, join up, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell as well. Let me know, that'll let you know when I'm going to be on live again next, or you can check out my schedule as well. Also, if you're on the fence about joining up, you're going to see a video pop up here. The video is going to be from my vast video library, and it's going to be tailored just for you based on all the smut that you've been watching on YouTube. All the weird videos and stuff like that. YouTube knows what you've been watching. They secretly know what it is, and they're going to pluck a video that's going to be as vile as all the stuff you've been watching and pop it up there just for you. And As a bonus, up here is going to be iZombie from last night's iZombie. The final episode of that is going to be up here for you as well. So, thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. for Saturday Morning Blast Off. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, because otherwise you may end up getting your show canceled because you spend $85 million on 10 episodes thinking you're going to get $45 million back. And the new company that just bought out your old company isn't going to let that shit fly. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.